Hello and welcome back to the channel. This is Tiffany at Dynamite-Acres, and we are in the tail end of apple harvest. Let me tell you what, it's been a very busy month. So I am finally to where I am working up my apples. So we have multiple trees on our property. These particular apples are very small. They come from more like a crab apple or a heritage apple. I keep all of these. I don't sell any of these. Thankfully in Montana we can apply for what's called an ag license, and then you can sell your fruits and vegetables off your property. They highly encourage it, which is awesome. So I do sell my apples at the farmer's market and then also to a grocery store nearby. And so we always do those apples first. You know, we get the best apples out to the grocery stores and to the public. And now we're down to processing for ourselves. But today I want to show you how I process these little tiny apples and not lose my mind. Because as you're aware, when you have little apples like this, it's just, they're a lot of work, right? There's a lot of core, there's a lot of peel, there's a lot of stem. So I start with just washing the apples. These little apples sat in my kitchen sink for probably 20 or 30 minutes in just some cool water. Then what I do is I go through and I either pull or cut the stem off. I personally feel like the stem makes my apple juice taste funny. So I cut the stem off. I pull out any of them that have really bad spots. Those go to the chickens and or the pigs. And so then I prepare these. I wash them real good and prepare them to go in the juicer. Now my juicer is one that I inherited from my mom. And here's the original box, if you can believe it. And it's from 1990. It's a back to the basics product. And as you can see, it used to have like this rubber hose and a clamp, and I don't know. We've used this thing for years, and for as long as I can remember, it's gone just like this. We put it on the stove and the juice comes out into a pan. Works great for us, so that's the way we're gonna keep doing it. So it's multiple levels. There's water in here. This water boils and it steams, which then causes the apples to cook. The apples are in this top basket, and then the juice is actually, goes through like a wire area, or I'm sorry, like a filtration area, and the juice comes out right here. So this is what it looks like. These are almost done. They got, oops, sorry, let me back up. They got about 10 minutes left on them. And this was completely full of those little apples. I did not cut them. I did not peel them. I did not anything. Other than take the stems off and wash them, that's all I did. Now when these are done, I'm gonna take the pulp out of here and I'm gonna place it in this Dutch oven. It could go directly out to my chickens. It could, I mean, obviously let it cool off. It could go out to the livestock and could be fed, but I'm not quite done with it. So I'm going to keep this pulp, and this pulp is what I'm going to then make pectin for making jellies, and or I take this pulp and I make apple cider vinegar out of it. So I'm going to take this pulp and put it in this Dutch oven, and then I will let it cool off. And then I don't have time right now to make pectin or apple cider vinegar with all the other harvest seasons going on. So then I'll let that cool, and I will put it in gallon-sized baggies, and I will put it in the freezer. And then probably sometime in November, when things slow down and the garden's not producing like crazy and I'm not canning and putting food up all of the time, I will then pull those out and I will get my apple cider vinegar started and or make my apple pectin to be able to make our jellies. In the meantime, I'm just juicing everything. So same thing with my jellies. I have probably 50 jars of jellies put up so far this year, but mostly what I have put up right now is juice. And then when things slow down and the plants are going to sleep, the orchard's not as busy, the garden's not as busy, I will then go back and do my jellies. But that is how I juice my little tiny apples. Mostly just wash, take the stems off, and then run them through your juicer. There's all kinds of things on the market, so have fun shopping. I know there's some pretty fancy juicers out there. This one from 1990, which is quite a while ago, what, 37 years ago, is doing just fine for me. Find a good quality one and it'll last generations. Okay, there you have it. We've reset. And as you can see, I didn't even clean this area. It's completely fine. You can see some of them are bruised, so that's all right as well. But we want to make sure there's no bad apples in there. So these have been reset. One of the big things is make sure you don't run out of water down here. So I refilled the water in the bottom, and these guys are going to be good to go. Now I'm going to wait till I hear this water boiling, and then I'm going to set my timer for 90 minutes to be able to get as much of the juice out of those apples as we can. But otherwise, as long as this is full of water, you know, I can be doing other projects while this is doing its thing. For every one of these baskets of apples, I get 2 really great quarts of juice. And this juice is really concentrated. I have another video on how I turn this concentrated juice into like apple juice that we would drink with our morning breakfast. We're gonna wanna add water. I mean, you can drink it, it won't hurt you, but it's extremely strong. Makes really great apple cider. In the winter, we put our juice in our crock pot, add some cinnamon and some other seasonings that we like, and we let it get all, you know, we'll let it warm up and cook a little bit, and we have hot apple cider waiting on us in the crock pot when we come in from working the farm and it's super cold. We love this juice. Now I am going to store this juice in my refrigerator because I plan to use it again within the next few weeks. However, you can hot bath these and you could seal them and then they would be shelf stable. Make sure you do your research and figure out how long you need to hot bath it in your area. But 2 quarts is what I get. This is what the pulp looks like. And again, this pulp is not done. We are going to turn it into something else later. Of those 3 baskets, 2 of those colanders of apples fit in my juicer. That's it for today. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe.